In CIST 1510, we'll look at the discussion for Chapter 3 to analyze, correct, and improve. We're going to be adding elements to an HTML web page. So we can look at the page to begin with. To start with, this is what our web page would look like. As you can see, a couple things in this. We've got some issues here with our links, how everything's kind of ran together. Uh, the image is not appearing. So we're going to be fixing these images and this links in this. So we'll start off. Let me uncheck all these. We're going to start off working with the index.html file. So we're going to put our name, the file name, and today's date in the comment section. The file name will be index.html. And then I'm just going to use a random date. So next we're going to update the title element with the following text, Chapter 3, Analyze. So I'm just going to copy this and paste this inside of the title. So next we're going to look at the text content. We're going to wrap the web design resources within the H2 element, and then we're going to insert a blank line after the H2 element. So we'll come down and see our web design resources. It'll be in our main tag. So for this, we're just going to simply put an H2, and then we're going to close the H2 tag and put a blank space. So next we're going to wrap the remaining text contents with an unordered list with 7 list items. Okay, after this, we're going to put a blank line after the unordered list. So I'm going to start off by defining these as an unordered list. I'm going to put another line here. And I'm going to go ahead and close that tag while I'm working with my unordered list. Now inside of this, I'm going to just put list items. Then I'm going to close this. A quicker way to do this is after you put your first tags, copy that first opening list item, and then just paste this inside each one of these. Then you go back and do the same with the closing. It'll save you some time rather than trying to type this in each time as you're going through and completing this assignment. So next we got to correct the image element, which will be located here. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at our updated website. So I'm going to refresh this. See now that we've got the web design 2 listed with the heading 2. Okay, we do have these now listed as individual list items versus what we had. We still have the broken image, but our format of our website is taking more of a better design, something that's going to be easier to work with and easier to read. So first we're going to work with our image. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the missing, so we're going to have to correct the value for the source attribute. So our image is, this HTML5 JPEG is inside of this image folder. So we need to make sure that we have the link for this correct. So I'm going to update this. So now that is now pointed to the image folder and into that file. We still have to add the correct alt tags, or the alt attributes, the height and width. So I'm going to copy and paste these in. So these will go after our source attribute here. We put our alt in and we set that to handwriting HTML5, which is the value here. We set our height to 333 pixels and our width to 500 pixels. Okay, so we've passed the check. Now we'll look at this on our actual web page. So I'll update this and we'll see that now that our image is showing up correctly. So now to move into the improve section. So in the main element net, we're going to nest all content within a div element that has the ID attribute value of resources. And then we're going to insert a blank line after the starting div and above the closing div. Excuse me. And then indent all nested elements. So we'll come back up here to the opening main tag. I'm going to put in a div with the ID set to resources. And then I'm going to indent all of my nested items. Now this is more for readability. It makes it easier for you to read your code and to navigate through your code. And down here, I've got to place a closing div tag, and I need to put a space above that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do in this assignment is to link the text. So in our list order, or unordered list, our list items, we're going to link each one of these to these values. I'm going to go ahead and I'm copying the links and pasting them to save time on this. And then we'll go over the way your links will look. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm finished. I will visit the Emmett site, watch the videos, watch the demo, and then I'm going to provide a brief overview into my discussion board. Okay, as you'll see now, each one of these will take you to a different website. So you do have these linked in, the working links. So let's look at our links. So when we break these down, so we have our list item, then we have our anchor tags. Okay, so then here we're saying this is where the link is taking us. So this one is taking us, for example, to the w3.org. Okay, then we set our target is set to blank. We'll come back over those in just a second. The W3C, W3 schools, HTML, all of this text that are in between the opening anchor tag and the closing anchor tag, excuse me, that's the text that actually will be seen on the screen. So we see here that this is the text, and that's what is listed in these. Finally, we close our anchor tag, and then we close our list item. So looking at a target attribute, so it specifies where to open the link document. So we see the values here. For this, for example, it's got our reference, our target. So the text is the visit W3 schools, and then our closing anchor tag. I do has some attribute values you can look at. Blank will open the link document in a new window or tab. Self is going to open the link document in the same frame as it was clicked. That is going to be your default. Parent is going to open it in the parent frame. Top will open a link document in the full body of the window. And then the frame name will open it into a named frame. So for example, we try these ourselves, we can come in and change these. So for example, if I want to put the self in here, then I can run this. And now when I click this link, you'll see it opens in the container. Whereas if I just use this for blank, it opens up in a new web page. You can experiment with these with the W3 schools. So we'll see that this opened up in the parent container. And then it's opened up full screen on top of the body of the window. So the W3 schools, once again, it's a great place for you to go in to try out different attributes for your links for any of your HTML code. So once again, once you're finished with this, you want to make sure that you come in, check your task, and then submit your assignment.